Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Sawickipedia. Today we're looking at the different error codes that may be thrown up by your Bosch, Siemens, Neff, Kenmore, I think a couple of other different brands, dishwasher. So there's going to be separate videos for each error code. So I'll split these up into a big playlist so you can look at your particular error code without having to look through all the other crap about the rest of the error codes. I'd suggest hitting the subscribe button now just so you can easily come back to these videos whenever you need to. It's going to make it a lot easier to find them for you. But apart from that, we'll get straight into it. The E14 code relates to an issue with the reed sensor in the inlet hose. The E16 code relates to a problem with the water inlet. So check the reed switch in the inlet hose. The E17 code means the machine has detected too much water inside. The E18 code means the water level is too low. The first thing to do would be to check the inlet, make sure there are no kinks or anything. The other thing to do would be to remove the pump side panel and make sure there's no obvious faults there. Okay, so just a couple of things to check before you go pulling everything apart. Obviously check the drain filter and make sure there's nothing blocked up in here. Just be careful because there may be broken glass down in there if that's happened. And also check the other areas for any blockages. Down the back there is the dryer fan outlet, so make sure that's not blocked up. And if everything's clear there, just double check your water inlet and outlet pipes. Just beware that water's likely to come out when you remove these. So this is the water outlet or drain pipe. Everything looks clear there. Just remember to fasten that clip back up. Otherwise you might make quite a mess. And the other thing to check would be the inlet pipe. I'll just turn it off and pull that out just so we can have a closer look. And once again, keep in mind water will definitely come out of this one. As you can see, there's a filter in the end of it which does also come out. So just double check that that's all clear and everything in the pipe looks clear. There is also another filter in there which does not come out, so don't try and pull it out. But once you've established that everything's all good there, double check that the error code's still present, and if so, we'll move on to the next step. Alright, now before we do anything else, just make sure that the power to the dishwasher is turned off, and also the water to the dishwasher is also turned off. If you've got an inbuilt unit, you will have to remove your kickboard in order to access the bottom of the dishwasher. So in order to get the whole machine out, you first need to open up the door and just undo these two T15 screws, these little brackets here. And then at the bottom of the machine, you'll probably need to lower the actual feet themselves. So you need a 17mm spanner and just turn the feet counterclockwise until the unit drops down. There's also a screw here which will take a flathead screwdriver. You also just need to turn that counterclockwise so the rear of the unit can drop down as well. And then the other thing to do would be to disconnect your outlet hose and also the inlet hose. And of course, disconnect the machine itself from the power, depending on where your power outlet is. So in order to remove the panel on the pump side, first check which side the hoses are going into. That's going to be your pump side, and there's two clips at the back that need to just come off. And you've also got two T15 bits hidden behind the front of the door. So if you don't have yourself a Torx T15 bit, you can pick these up at your local hardware store or electronics hobbyist. So just remove the two screws at the front. And once they're out and the back's unclipped, you should be able to just sort of pull it out and down. And now you've got access to your pump side. So check all these hoses are all hooked up and there's no obvious leaking. Also make sure all the wiring's connected securely and none of the cables are frayed. So a few things you can check on the pump side. There is a sensor up here. I believe this is just the inlet sensor, and at the moment it's just reading a short circuit, so you should hopefully get the same. There's also a little pump just down here. Let's just measure that. We're at about 2400 or 2.4 kilo ohms. And there's also another one up here, so we'll just measure that too while we're at it. A little bit trickier to get to. So again, we're getting about 2400 ohms on that as well. So yeah, if you do have an error relating to water inlet or outlets, if you remove the side panel here, you can always just check all those and obviously make sure everything's firmly connected. Alright, so just to get a bit more of an idea of how this all works, so here's your water outlet, which comes up here, gets pumped around this and then out into the drain. This one here is your water inlet, so this gets pumped in and sucked down through into this reservoir. It also gets pushed up through around into this big reservoir here. This whole side panel usually is full of water. So yeah, double check to make sure that's actually happening, if possible, if you can have your machine plugged in and everything while all the panels are removed. That's about it for this video. I hope it's helped you out. The only thing I'd ask in return is for you to subscribe to this channel, which you can find a link to in the bottom corner of this video. There's also another one popping up in the top corner of your screen somewhere around now. So as always, thanks for watching this Sawickipedia. Please hit the like button and you can leave me a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching. See you later.